lovely. Hello. Steve's messy bed. How are you? Is anybody out there? 5 viewers. So I haven't been on for a little while doing the lives, but we're only on the 5th. Is it 5th today? So I thought I would come on. If you are a member, this is your personal tarot card reading, 3 or 4 questions for me to answer whatever it is that you would like. And if you don't have one, you don't have one. And if you don't, you might want to join. And the link for joining is in the description or in the chat. Is anybody on? Or are we just going to wait around for a little while? Americans, what's the time over there? It's probably still early. So there probably is no one around. But time being British is one of those things that it takes. It's difficult to go live when you lot are awake. Nobody in the chat? Good morning, Nikki, 777. Palo Conti, how you doing? How are you? It's a bit like Palo Natini. Palo. How is everybody? What's the time? Are you in the UK or are you in other parts of the world? I think I've got a bit of delay on the messaging there. $9 a.m. Florida, really? Wow. Chrissy, how you doing? Yes, it is the same name. I got a question. How does it work? Can I ask straight my question? You can if you join. It's $2 or $3. Doesn't cost much. It really helps out Steve's pay packet. And it costs you $2 or $3, and I go live loads of times during the month. And I just try to get through everybody that is on here with their personal questions. You can ask whatever you want, but it's normally like 1 question per time that I go live. But have to join. You can see in the chat there is a link you can click on or just look below. But you have to come up in green there. Turn the tip jar on. Hey Elizabeth, how you doing? Faith, hi. We've got some people in now. So Palo, yeah, Palo Natini. Yeah, so Palo, there is a link in the chat there. And if you click on it, it should just get you to put your details in. I think it's $2 or $3. That's it. I also do deceased loved ones at different times when it says channeling your deceased. And then I also do tarot card reading, questions and answers. But it's as cheap as I could make it. I don't think when you do these join buttons, you can actually choose anything any less than what I have done. So it's like Asda, if you're from Britain, every little helps. And it does. So you're from Italy. Wow. Italy's not that far away. I've been to Italy on the border of France and Italy. Have you seen what's going on over in France at the moment, Palo? It's terrible. I don't know if you guys from America are interested, but in France, that isn't that far from here, across the border, they're rioting on the streets. They're like shooting people, driving cars, hitting people, driving into like buildings, smashing the fronts, going through shops, driving all the way through it, causing riot. It's like a complete riot. And I think it's over the prices. Like the government are charging way too much money, like they are where I am. for food and everything, and I think the French people have just kicked off. So they're rioting. Sup, Mark? How you doing? So I'm hoping for some questions or some new people joining. This is a new month again here. I'd like to know if we will have a safe trip to and from vacation. That's going to be a very difficult one for me to answer. If you got the death card, that'll mean no. Okay. So, I need to know what your what your name is. And attempts in breaking on fast. So Awakening 5D, will they have a safe trip? Yes. Yes. Husband and wife, maybe. Partnership. Don't know. You might have an argument when you get there. Okay. Coming from the feminine energy here. Okay. Unless you're going to see parents or in-laws or outlaws and you're going on a journey to see your parents or their parents. Okay. This is like the dreaded mother-in-law. Awakening 5D. Will they have a safe trip? Yep. Death card. Well, it's going to be a complicated one. What's the death card here for? 3 of Cups. Positive. Meg Ryan and Billy Crystal. So family, awesome. Yeah. So you're gonna have a safe trip. Nothing's going to happen. There's not going to be a plane crash or anything, right? But yeah, you're going to have a very difficult time with the mother-in-law or family. Ooh, dear. This is where you're kind of like, do we really have to go and see her? You're like, yeah. How's Dad doing? Oh, he's all right. How's Mother? Ooh. Don't ask. So yeah, everything's going to be fine. Yeah, you'll be all right. You're just gonna have you're gonna have difficult Emily. You're gonna have a difficult time with family there. Safe around the Queen of Swords in reverse? No, not really. Not really. No, she could shank you in a back alley, maybe. So yeah, family. So next question was what we got. Scary times, Lucy. Yeah. Have you guys seen what's happening in France? They're literally going crazy in France now. Loads of people being arrested. I think there's been deaths. I think also people driving through shop windows and continuing to do so. Like fires everywhere, turning cars upside down. France are a lot more like that than what we actually are in Britain here, to be honest. France had that a little while ago where they had a load of shootings over there as well. Like it was, yeah, they're very structured up in France. So what was my next question? On Facebook, yeah, it's all over the news here. France here, if you go 3 hours from where I am, south, 3 hours south, you get to the end of Britain, basically, or England, whatever. And then you go across the border from London, basically, over to France. So you're looking at about 5 hours. So we had... So I have a question. I had an attempted break-in. There we go. So Nikki777, tell me what's coming up for Nikki777. 6 of Swords, the World, 10 of Swords, trying to find out, Nikki777. 3, maybe taking it to court or trying to find out also. Queen of Cups, that's a difficult one, that. Any news on this break-in for Nikki 777? The Sun, Queen of Swords in reverse, the Death card, same cards as the other person just got. Well, the Queen of Swords and the Death card are no cards. This is a yes card. You've got more no cards than yes cards. So will you find out? I don't think so, no. No. Tell me what this Queen of Swords in reverse is about this break-in. Yeah. Could have been an Aries. The person that broke in could have been an Aries, maybe, here. I haven't got any card that really represents finding out news. Not really. That's a difficult one, that one. You might want to reconsider your question here. Any good stuff coming up for Mark? What have we got coming towards Mark? Anything coming up with Mark? Please, anything coming up with Mark? So you got that person still spying, Leo in reverse here, Aquarius, Leo, spying, watching, 8, watching here. Mark, anything coming up for Mark? 8 of Swords, 9 of Pentacles, single. Are you, Mark, single here? Someone's watching, something around a Leo or an Aquarian. That sign told me what I needed. Thank you. Oh, did it? Oh, good. Sorry, Nikki. I kind of bypassed you a little bit there because to me, that's a really difficult question for a tarot card reader to actually answer. Is there going to be any news? So what you did have is you had the Queen of Swords in reverse, which was Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And then you had Aries there. And it was around a child or a person of the Page of Pentacles. So it could have been a young person that may be Aries. If that helps you out in any way, young person of maybe Aries, okay, maybe in their teens, okay. I don't know if you've got any children or anything like that, but it's saying younger person, Aries, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, okay. You will need to join Manju. So if anybody's new, you know, don't leave a question without joining because I can't answer it unless you join. It's $2 or $3 to join. Doesn't cost too much. Everybody's struggling, trust me, but $2 or $3 out of your pocket, you know, it's not too much to ask because it really helps out me at the end of the month, trust me. So who are we doing? Mark. Why does Mark have this Page of Swords here? Could be around a mum here. King of Pentacles. I don't know if you're in reverse. I don't know if you're struggling financially, Mark, here. The King of Pentacles can also be an ill parent here. But this just came up in the actual Leo reading that I did. Leo, and also I've done Leo and Gemini for tonight here. And the Strength card come up in both readings. That sign. So, Mark, there's maybe struggling around finances. The Strength card in reverse. Why does Mark have that? 3 of Swords. Some sort of like, yeah, someone's not very well. I think I know your story, though, because of your mum right here. But, yeah, I don't know who you know around you that's Leo or possible Aquarian, Pisces. Struggling maybe financially. Andrea, hello, how you doing? So you will need to join Andrea below. 4 questions. Mum's Capricorn. So I don't know what's going on around a Leo or an Aquarian energy there, but there's someone around you, maybe Pisces. Could be that person that keeps spying on you that's not doing anything, like getting heartbroken just by watching. Like, I don't get that energy. It's very strange and weird, but I don't know. Could just be like an obsessed stalker that just keeps getting hurt by not communicating. Could be that. I don't know. Page of Swords is thinking about an idea to be more financially stable, but can be the loss of a parent. This can be Capricorn. Yeah, King of Pentacles normally is Capricorn for me. Your mum may have Leo or Aquarius in her chart with maybe Pisces somewhere. Yeah, I think it could be your mum here. 8 of Wands, 9 of Wands. Controlled communication, feeling like you're losing it a little bit here, mate, through like mum being really ill and like all of the stress being put upon you here. It's kind of like weighing you down a little bit, fearing the worst here. This can be like abandoned and left on my own here after this energy here. And this is like traumatized by the situation of what's going on at home here. Okay. 8 of Swords. Yeah, because of mum. Yeah, there's a few arguments at home here, maybe. Single, but some sort of like argumentative energy here. Maybe signs of dementia. 9 of Wands can be dementia. Things like not quite within my right mind and I don't quite know what I'm saying. 9 and 9 is someone with mental illness or like dementia can come across as controlling because they don't know what they're saying, and then suddenly they can start having a go at you and being very violent. I used to work in elderly residential places and I did it for many years, and it can get very stressful looking after people like dementia or mental illness or stuff like that. So Stephanie, how you doing? Yeah, so hats off to you, Mark. I know it's very difficult, like, looking after mum, right? I don't know how you do it. Like, my mother always said to me, like, if I ever get to that point, you'll look after me, won't you? You know, I'm like, oh, I don't know if I could or not, but I suppose I would have to. So hats off to you, sir, because they can start getting really violent. Okay. That seems to be your main concern there, Mark. So how are all my newcomers? Any newcomers want to join? Good morning. Morning, Daves, I know. The Daves I know. That's got to be one of the best names. So there's your reading, Mark. So, Andrew, if you want your questions, you'll have to join, sweetheart. The sign told me what I needed to know. I've done that one. Mum's Capricorn. LB, hi Steve, overall energy for me, Virgo, life path 8, and my person, Troy, Aquarius, life path 4. So Lisa B, what is coming up for Lisa B, please? Lisa B, Lisa B, Lisa B, Lisa B. So nothing, not much happening. 7 of Cups, maybe a metaphysical connection. Leo in reverse. Leo in reverse has been coming up quite a lot just lately. It is 1 or 2 of the only cards in this deck that are in reverse, but normally Spirit will tell me when to start turning it upright. I mean, are you take it that you're in a commitment, right, Lisa? Lisa B, because this is like, I don't know, like metaphysical, just thinking of someone. Lisa B, 6 of Wands, 5 of Cups. Are you caught in a metaphysical time warp here, Lisa? I need to know those kind of things. If you guys are saying partner, I need to know if you mean metaphysical partner or actual relationship. I need to know those. Because just, you know, if you're a metaphysical person, that isn't your partner. That's just your awakening person. Not at the moment. Well, no. I mean, like I said, if you're not in a commitment, there is none. There's either a split up and a breakup, or you're just waiting metaphysically with no action. Here, let me show you. This is what a lot of people do when they spiritually wake up on a karmic person. They just sit and wait for a person to get words just by not communicating, watching tarot to see if the other person's going to. The other person isn't, Lisa. So if you want to communicate, you've got to be the one that does it. If you want to know how the person's doing and how the connection's going, you're going to have to do this. If not, the time will just go by, and it will go by, and you know, and you know. Now, if you're in a relationship or been in one, like physically with this person, and you broke up, it's not going well. 7 of Cups, 5 of Cups, in reverse, being rejected, turned down. More than likely arguments, obviously, are what split people up. Ego still very much set in. Very mardy. Okay. Lisa B. Anything coming up for Lisa B? King of Swords, 6 of Swords. You might get word. Yeah. It's kind of like a breakup and then a get back together again here. It's like a reunion that starts to happen here. Unless you've got 2 men. What's the King of Swords for Lisa B? Why is that? There's a king here. Provider, mother, maybe, or father. King of Wands. Oh, Jesus. The Queen of Swords in reverse with the 8 of Wands. What's going on with this Leo energy here? It's connected to this Queen and this King. This Queen of Swords is in reverse. The Queen of Swords is in reverse here. Can you see what I'm seeing? Queen of Swords is in reverse. That's the counterpart to the King. She is coupled with this 8 of Wands, where 8 is of Leo or maybe Aquarius. That's also in reverse, where this Queen is. So is there already a commitment of an ex with children there? Ex-husband, ex-wife, or your person is still dealing with like a baby mother of children and stuff? Because if not, it's a very controlled energy here. Because it kind of, the Queen of Swords can be very cutting when asking questions here. Can also be, doesn't like being rejected and told no. This Leo energy here, or an Aquarian could have Aquarius, Leo, Sagittarian, Gemini, Libra, Aquarian here. Doesn't like being rejected. Can be very cutting when not getting my own way. I mean, this could be you, Lisa. I mean, I don't know. I do have a new person who is interested. He's a Capricorn. Well, there's 2 men then here. There's 2 men with you in the downright position here, where you're wanting the person where you're split up, and then you got someone else, and yeah, it's a mess, really, here. Metaphysical connection with another person before you've completed with one. You got to make up your mind. Is it ended with this person and you want the new person, or? Because these are related. This Leo, Aquarius energy, or life path 8, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and then 8. That's related energy here to this King of Wands somehow, which is Leo again. You'll need to join, Sonny. Anybody that's leaving questions, I can't do it for free. You need to join. It's $2 or $3. Doesn't cost much. It's very cheap. You get a whole month worth of questions. Like every time I go live throughout the whole month, you can ask me what you want, but I believe the end has come for me and Troy. Well, it seems that way, yeah. It does seem that way because it's kind of all in reverse and it's all shook up and everywhere. It's all shook up. Oh, yeah. So it is. So, yeah, go after the other one, I would say, because I can't really read who is who there because there's complications. So, who was next? Lisa, I've done Lisa. Lucy, do I have anything to worry about from the system of the government I'm involved with? Any dangers to watch for? Well, I can see what you got coming up, Lucy. Lucy, what's coming up for Lucy, please? What's coming up for Lucy? So, you got the Lovers, Gemini, Watching, Ten of Cups, a Hangman, Pisces, Lucy. All I can really do is, for that question, is just pull a load of cards and see what I can see that comes up as conflict. Lucy. Lucy. Well, there might be a lot of whispering and spying around clients and people that work there, here. The King of Pentacles can be a very controlling boss here. Maybe losing financially. Tell me more about this King of Pentacles in reverse. Why this King of Pentacles is in reverse for Lucy. Oh, yeah. Unless you're having an argument with an ex or a husband or, I don't know, or with children. But like if I'm looking at it as a boss, because you want to know about work, there is arguments and stuff around this king in reverse, Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo. So, yeah, I mean, like, be careful of mind games, manipulation, and arguments. What's the Page of Wands for Lucy? I can't see how this is, like, really representing danger around work. Not really. Can't really find your question within it, to be honest. I would kind of need to know more, like, you know, the danger that I'm looking at. Is it because someone's cheating, lying, or stealing? I'm not seeing anything like that, but I am seeing something to do with around this King of Pentacles being in reverse and this Five of Swords, competition, ADHD, unable to concentrate, manipulating situations, maybe being very violent, you know, a difficult person to work for, someone that likes to remain in control. Someone that's also like losing financially, and when I do, everybody else gets it in the ear, and I start taking it out on the people that work for me here. Mind games, there you go. So if you were looking for is there mind games, which you know, I mean the tarot's clarifying it, yeah. And then there's a lot of this like, okay, I'm going to play mind games with you and have a go at you and then not speak to you and put you in timeout like a child. It came up in Sagittarian when I was doing Sagittarius, Taurus, Life Path 5, and I was saying that there's a lot of arguments and mind games and childish behaviour and tit for tat. Whatever was coming out through those readings is now in your personal one. So, you know... Okay, my children I have here are safe with me. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of, like, you know, tit for tat and stuff like that here. Could be around children here. This is children. This is someone looking after children. Also, you know, trying to juggle everything as well. Stopping them from talking to this energy here. You know, don't want to speak to that. Say if there's an ex-husband or a wife as well, an ex-husband doesn't want to talk there, staying out the way of conflict and mind games, being manipulated. So that is around you. So that's something to be aware of. Okay, constantly be aware of there, because just don't forget, like, whatever message you get, people don't change, right? They don't actually change. So if they're doing that, they're going to continue to do that. That's like a constant message for you to understand this. That's what they do. That's who they are. How you tackle it after that is how you navigate yourself through those energies, and how to avoid and how to resolve the energy without interacting. So what else have we got? Because I'm soon about to like call it quits for today. I think we're pretty much done. I don't know. Is $2-3 too expensive for people? Like, I don't know. I thought it was quite cheap. Like, are people really suffering that much? I don't know. So we've got two more. Hi, Steve. Could you have a look why my ex came back in and out the blue? He is Scorpio and I'm Aries. Why came back? More than likely retrograde. A load of people came back in their life. If you're a Pisces and stuff like that, where I said someone's come back into someone's life, people do that all the time. All the time. What is your ex's name? Because it's best to try and find out what his intentions are. Well, if you don't have no money, would the answer yes? Yeah, I think everybody's suffering financially. Even I am. Like, I ain't going to lie to you guys. This is the first time that I've worried. Like, not worried, but, like, just people not, like, spending money. Apart from you guys, obviously. I appreciate you keep rejoining and stuff. I do notice that you guys keep rejoining the join button, which really does help out. So his name is Jack. Right? My name is Jack. So what is Jack's intentions towards Melissa? Well, to be cared for and loved. The truth, speaking. 5 of Swords. So it's hard to say that someone's intentions are purposely to argue, but that's more than likely what he's got in his head, that he's going to argue with you. Competition. Could have ADHD. Does Jack have attention deficit disorder? Because I can tell you from my experience, sometimes that your feelings go. This is why I was trying to explain to some people that people with ADHD may come across as if they do not have empathy. And they disappear because their feelings change because dopamine isn't working in their body to give them that natural feeling and boost like people get normally when they have a reward. They wake up and they feel good. And they're like, wow, I feel really good today. Person with ADD has to wait for that to happen, and that can happen very sporadically. It can be like this, a wave of emotion of whether I feel okay or whether I don't. So I can only do it when I do. And some people with ADD, they can go out of your life because they're not really showing too much interest because they're distracted by attention deficit disorder. And they can go and you're like, well, they just ghosted me and they're gone. Okay, why did they come back? Because they have attention deficit disorder. Okay, so I don't know if you know if Jack has ADD, but if he does, that's the reason. Comes across as if he, because I do this, I have ADHD. Sometimes I can come across like I don't really have much empathy for people. Okay, so if it confuses me and I get really fucking angry in my head, I just close down emotionally, physically, and I stop talking to people. And then I wait until I feel better, and then I start again, right? And I can go in and out of people's lives like mustard, you know. And to me, it doesn't bother me. I don't have that empathy. It's not narcissistic, but it can come across that way, that you just don't fully have that empathy like a feminine. Like, I want love, and I want to be felt, and I want dreams and bubbles. Person with ADD would be like, yeah, I don't really want to talk about all that shit. Right, yeah. So he came into me. Really? That's what she said. He came into me sexually. Be careful of your words there, Melissa. Yeah, ADD is also that too. You need to learn about what attention deficit disorder is, because you may not even know. Attention deficit disorder is the dopamine and the reward that people get. That's also a boner, right? So people with ADD, they might not want sex for like 2 or 3 weeks or a month or 4 months or 3. Okay, and then they want it every single day for a week, and then they don't. And then they've gone off you sexually, and you're like, as a woman, you feel like, oh God, what's wrong with me? Why am I not any good? You know, why do you not want to hug me? And like, you know, why are you losing interest in me sexually? But then why do you come back and just treat me like a one-night stand? Because you possibly have ADHD. That's what you do when you've got ADHD. It's difficult to be in a relationship with a person with ADD. Okay, trust me, sex is a huge problem that causes a lot of arguments in relationships because of sex, because of ADD. Okay. Now, if he does not have ADHD, then he's just using you for sex. Okay. But be very careful that you're not judging a person that has mental health, you know, because, like I said, you can either be a really decent person and understand it, okay, because you've got to be 100% mentally strong, honestly, to deal with a person with mental health problems. No matter what the mental health problem is, you've got to be 100% up here stable to deal with a person that has mental health. Okay, if you're very fragile up here and someone has ADHD or bipolar, schizophrenia, you'll lose your mind, you know. So you got to be you've got to be there. Nikki, I have ADHD, and I can say Steve is right. I mean, it is right, isn't it? You know, I've had so many problems around that and arguments, like where I'm just kind of like, oh God, I'm too tired. Like, people with ADHD, they get fucking exhausted over no reason. Like me, I could do a couple of tarot card readings. I'm like, I'm exhausted. And then a partner can say, you're right, what about tonight? And you're like, oh, no, not tonight. Like, I'm washing my hair, Dave. Like, I can't. Like, and I'm like, why not? And you're like, I don't feel like it. You know, I just don't, I can't, like, I just don't, can't be bothered. Like, I haven't got the energy to do that. And then, like, it's very difficult. It's very difficult. Yeah, so you have ADD or you have mental health, Melissa. So tell me Jack's intentions towards Melissa. 2 of Cups in reverse. No, upright. Well, it's a karmic soulmate. Karmic soulmates float in and out of your life like mustard. They do. It's like jam and PJ and jelly, or whatever you call it, in a bun, right? They come and they go. They spread it on thick and then they're off and you've had it, right? It's Peter and Paul. Right? You do know a lot about like soulmates and karmic soulmates, Melissa, right? They come, you go, they're in your life, they're out your life, you split up, you argue, you get on, then you don't, then they're in, then they're out. They come back in next month, they come back during retrograde, they come back making you promises. I've done it myself as a masculine. I promise I'll be, you know, and or this or that, or that it'll hopefully work this time, or it won't, you know. But like, you're pulled that way. So you have a feeling, especially if you have ADD, you know? Your feelings go for about a month and you don't have feelings for a person for a while. And you're kind of like, you know what, I'm actually really enjoying time on my own. And I ain't got to worry about anything because no one else is distracting me from concentrating on anything but what I want to do. And then give it a month and you feel lonely. And you're like, oh, really could do with some female attention, right? Where do I go? Could go back to my ex and see if she wants something, right? That's how people think. Well, I'm sure that's how I think as a guy, right? So, like, you know, that's what you've got going on. Usually that would be combined with another issue to be approved. Example, autism. Autism, yeah. Yeah, a lot the same. A lot of like bipolar and ADHD, they can have a lot of the same kind of symptoms. as well. But a person with ADHD, I can tell you that there's a lot of, like, you know, I have to judge how I feel that day. I can't base that off anyone else, how they're feeling and what they want me to do. I can't take that into consideration. That's why that comes up as controlling, because I can't take another person's feelings into consideration until I've took my own into consideration. I'm thinking, okay, Steve, how do you feel today? Okay, so I can't never guarantee anything in my life for someone else until I've checked in with myself to realise, right, okay, this is how I feel today, this is what I want, and if you're up for it, great, and if you're not, I can't help it. Okay, so it comes across as very controlling, right? Depression and anxiety I have. He goes from girl to girl. I gave up with him. Well, there you go then. You're dealing with a karmic soulmate. So your answer, why did he come back in my life, is the fact that he's a karmic soulmate. It's down to you to say yes or no. So it's not down to him, it's down to you. Okay. So if he keeps coming back into your life and you keep accepting him, there you go. Why does he come back? Because you keep saying yes. Right, here. Anxiety. So with anxiety, okay, how do we accomplish getting over anxiety? Let it out. Appreciate it. Stop trying to run from what isn't there. Accept the fact that you're having a panic attack. If you're having a panic attack, you're having one. The more you try to tell yourself that you're not having a panic attack and what can I do to not have this panic attack, the more you're going to have it, right? Because you're telling yourself that you don't want to have it. You've got to tell yourself when you're having one that you want it, right? Anxiety is a feeling that's underlining inside of your brain that tells you that something is wrong. It isn't. It's a picture that goes from left to right in your brain of your amygdala. It goes into your memory and it goes out of your memory and then it goes back out and it doesn't know where to place it because it isn't real. It's fabricated. What you're panicking about actually isn't happening. What you have anxiety about actually isn't happening. A lot of people have phobias and fears over flying. Okay, the plane hasn't crashed, but they believe that it might, so they panic, but it hasn't. Right? So when it goes into the brain, this is like, well, okay, this isn't really happening, so we're going to push it back out. And then it's like, no, it belongs in your memory. And you're like, it doesn't, because it doesn't belong here, because it actually isn't happened yet. So it keeps doing that. And that is when people walk trying to escape a feeling of emotion because their memory is going in and out. That's the amygdala overreacting. So what you're feeling actually isn't happening at all. Okay. So what you have to realize is, what do? Appreciate what you're feeling. Let it out. Let's have it. I want to feel this. Thank you for making me panic like this. Okay. I want to feel it. Okay. I want to have this. Thank you. I love you. Thank you. Let it out. Okay. Stop trying to deny that it's there. Stop trying to run from what isn't there. Okay. Do square breathing. Okay, you don't need a paper bag. Okay, it's called pursed lips. You breathe in and you distract your breathing to push out. That's oxygen in and carbon dioxide out. Okay, so you need to lower your levels of brain activity there. Okay, so you do it by breathing in heavily. And then you breathe out real slowly. And when you're panicking, your body will tell you, no, you've got to breathe out real quick because you need to grasp for another breath because I can't breathe. You can. You can. It's because you're panicking, right? So you're not actually hyperventilating. When you actually hold your breath when you're panicking, you panic even more because you believe that you can't breathe. But you need to let that panic out. You need to feel as much panic and anxiety as you can. And that stops it. It gets to its peak like a whirlwind. And then when it's right at its peak, it has nowhere else to go. And then it just dies. And then people are like, where's the whirlwind gone? Okay, it caused its havoc. It got to its peak. And then it died. And now I feel good, right? It's because you've let it out. Okay, it's got to its peak. It's let it out. It's gone. Straight away like that. Once you've mastered how to do that, you won't have any more panic attacks ever again. Okay? Hi, Steve. I have ADD, and well, so I can relate to you 100%. My family think I'm selfish because I always put me, myself, and above all. Same here. Same here. I get it with my mum here all the time because I don't have time in order to concentrate on other people. So you're known as selfish. You don't ever think. You always avoid. You don't want to talk. You don't want to speak. You only ever want to do it when you feel good. You make me feel bad. Why do you constantly make me feel bad? What these people don't realise is that they're actually bullying people with ADHD. You wouldn't do it to a person in a wheelchair and tell them to walk, right? So just because you can't actually see mental health, illness, people judge people by their actions of what they're doing and the way they're acting. So you'll always be judged, just the harshness of mental health. So, Stephanie, what have we got coming up for Stephanie? Stephanie Santiago. Stephanie Santiago. Leo in reverse. Oh dear. Leo on Aquarian in reverse. Something to do around your children here. Being very mardy. Avoiding negative. Oh, you got a lot of avoidance of temper tantrums here, Steph. Someone that has a very, very bad temper. Okay, I don't know if you're dealing with a Leo. Is there any Leos in the house up in here? Any Leos? Do Leos get really, really Nancy and like really like tetchy and get really pissed off and angry a lot when like drama queen? Anybody else notice that Leos can get that way? Or is it just me? Like, don't know, but you've got a lot of avoidance here, Steph, if you're still there. Avoiding temper tantrums. Drama queen. Stephanie Santiago. The Knight of Swords. Not all Leos, but I suppose it depends on it. I mean, it does. It's a daft question because I'm the fucking one that normally teaches people. It depends on your numerology as well, mainly, like your life path number. And also your placements. Like life path numbers are so important, right? Because if you're like a life path 5, you can either be extremely aggressive and angry, or you can get people that come your way on your life path to be very aggressive and very angry. Okay. Tonya, how you doing? Yeah, sure, in a second. So, Stephanie, are you still there? He has Leo in his Jupiter. He is a Scorpio Sun, Libra Moon with both Life Path 9. Have you still not left yet, Steph? Steph, Jeff, Steve, Sarah, you still doing the same thing? You're still not left? You're still there? Are you? Like, I thought you were leaving a long time ago here. Yeah, there's aggression, there's anger, there's avoidance. There's like avoiding you or you him. Stephanie Santiago. For the people that are newcomers, you're going to need to join to get a question. Kelly, you have a Life Path 5 partner. So do I. So do I. Any of you out there dealing with anybody that is a Life Path 5? Jesus Christ. Like, oh my God. Like, I mean, sometimes I think I'm going crazy. Like, why every argument? Does anybody else out there have an argument every 3 days over nothing? And you're like, what the? Like, like I don't get it. But, Stephanie, everything is in reverse. You're getting all of my reversed cards here. Lack of money, maybe. Avoidance. Child support, maintenance. Still not getting on. Avoidance. Can't leave because of money and finances and house and home. Trying to make it work, but it doesn't. Trying to find work, but I may not be able to. Trying to work and find whatever I can, but I'm more interested in what's going on with the Leo instead of myself. Here. I haven't left, but he but he helps watch kids while I'm at work. The 15th, I get to move into my new place with my kids to the other side of the world. There you go. Where are you going? The other side of the world. What's that, UK? Yeah, I mean, like I said, you're avoiding him. This is not going to work. So as long as you know that, all you're doing is waiting, and that's why this 10 of Pentacles is in reverse. It's just like you look at the kids while I can earn some money, and I'm just doing that until I go. So what's coming up for you, that's your major event, that's your milestone. That's going to be whenever it is that you can afford to go, whenever your place comes up, right? Every 3 days, week 3 months. Yeah, it is so bizarre. I even looked on, right, I even did this myself because I didn't know, and I couldn't find any research out there whatsoever of what this might be. That why it is that people argue every 3 days. Now, I know that they're like lessons within the 3 of Pentacles and the 3 of Swords and numerology matching up. But, like, it's ridiculous. Like, it's ridiculous of how many arguments that add up total of 365 days of the year when you look at at least one argument every 3 days. Like, why someone can get that way, I've got no idea. And I try to look into it to see if it was like a mental health condition or if it was like deep-seated sabotage, but did it relate to being on the 3rd day or maybe the 4th? But couldn't find anything. Arkansas, was it? Yeah, so there is no change, Steph, really. It's just, like I said, it's avoiding everything until I get to go. That's your message there. Avoiding whatever I can and doing whatever I can until I get to move. That's your messages there. That's the only kind of thing that's kind of coming out this present. So if no newcomers are joining, then I can't answer your questions if you're not joining. So we've got Toya. Tonya, what is your question? Yeah, I can't add it up either. I've got no idea why it happens on 3. Like, my partner and me is a 5 and a 7. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 that relates to a 3. That's what I did base it off, the fact that our numerology is a 7 and a 5. Add it together and you come up with 3, and that's why I was constantly thinking that it always happens on the 3rd day. And I kind of just started doing that for ages, but then I started to think there's got to be some other reason for this fucker. Right? Should I stay with Kelvin? I'm going to need a little bit more than that, Tonya. I'm a Libra, he's Capricorn. So what would make you not want to stay with Kelvin? Kevin, sorry. You're right, luxury artist. How you doing? New screen cover. Thanks. So I need a little bit more than that, Tonya. Like, because I don't want to say to you tarot cards, like, he's been cheating on me, should I stay with him? No. Okay. Thank you for the new person. Not sure. Oh, someone from Twitch. Oh, sorry, I keep forgetting that I'm over on Twitch as well. Thank you, guys. Sorry if I don't ever do anything live on Twitch. I just don't know how it works. Like, the system that I've got here goes live on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. So mainly I work from YouTube, but if anybody else is on Twitch and you want to follow me, it's 7 Tarot. You can see it up here. Okay. But yeah, thanks for following. So should I move? We have been fighting a lot. Okay. So you're kind of struggling with your question. So I'll draw some cards for your name, but the best way of ever doing, if you ever like look for a reading from someone, right, is express the problem that you've got. Okay. You don't say, should I go or should I stay? It's like, okay, and explain to the reader, look, this is going on in my life and this is the problem and the dynamic that I've got. Can you pull me a load of cards and see what's coming up? And if this person is still arguing and changing and going to be, because then at least it gives me a heads up to know that it's still going on, okay? Because when it comes down to like questions of like yes or no, should I move? Okay, that's going to be down to you. Like I can say to you, yeah, move. But do you really want to? Like, can you? Have you got the financial aid and support to be able to do so? Have you got family that you can go to? Like, there would be a lot more questions within that I would need to know before I can give you the proper guidance to do it. Okay. So, Tonya, what's going on with Tonya? So, finding it very difficult to find stability within this partnership that you've got with this person. Financial issues may be holding you back. You may need to pick up some extra hours at work in order to be able to financially pull yourself back in the clear, okay? But as the relationship goes, it's very unstable at the moment, okay? Tonya. So work is there, okay? So maybe picking up some extra shift work at work in order to be able to get financially stable, okay? I don't know if you argue a lot because your person, Kevin, is at work a lot, but that is what masculine energies do. Tonya. Yeah, I mean, it could be him that you're speaking to. Pisces energy here. Tonya, what's Tonya got coming up? So the Magician. The Moon. Are you a mum, Tonya, here? 3 of Wands. Any of you got Pisces in your chart here? Because you got 3, Pisces, 12, 3, and then you got 3 again. It's kind of like this waiting to maybe move, because I think your question was about moving. But it's like hesitating. Should I move or should I not? Should I keep waiting to move or not? Tonya. Death card. 7 of Cups. Still contemplating on whether to do so. Still waiting, contemplating on whether to do so. King of Cups. It's kind of like you're going through a cycle here of like not knowing whether to move or not. But Tarot can't never tell you, yes, you should move. Okay. All it can tell you is what you're planning. It can tell you your future, meaning your immediate future is planning on whether I should move or not. That's what the Tarot is telling you, that you are contemplating on moving, but you are waiting to be able to do so. The action that you take is down to you then. Spirit's just telling you that your actions so far have led to you thinking about someone else, something else, or moving. Okay, that's what it's showing me. But it's showing me that you're still waiting maybe for this person to change. But they could be Scorpio. Scorpio means change, but it doesn't, because people don't. So it doesn't just also happen to mean Scorpio here, but what we need to learn spiritually with people is that they don't. Have you ever met a friend from like school and you've met them 20 years later and you're like, oh my God, you have not changed a bit. You still act, talk, and you're exactly like what you was when we were at school. Still the same person, right? When we're in relationships, okay, or marriages and commitments, but we're in a relationship, we expect that when arguments, when it keeps happening all the time, what keeps us stuck and staying and waiting is that we hope that the person will soon start acting differently than what they are. But our cycles that we replay out, we realise that they don't. And that's when we start to realise that actually people do not change their ways. They still remain the same. They do it constantly all the time. Now, a habit can change if they force themselves to do it, but that's down to you. Do you want to wait for this person to change the way they are? Okay, or do you want to call it quits and go? But that action that you take is down to you itself. It's not down to him to change. It's down to whether you want to. Okay, do I want to change? Not physically. Do I want to change location? Do I want to change partner? To maybe find one that gives me more for what I want, that suits me more than what this person does. Okay. So your outcome is really the same until you take an action. Once you've took an action, then you can ask me another question. Steve, I've just left the person. What does my future look like now? Right. Right. Then I can say, okay, this person might be trying to contact you and come back. Steve, I've just moved. Can you tell me what it looks like? Okay, you got future prospects of money coming up. But what your future looks like here is contemplating and waiting on moving. Okay. Physically waiting for things to change in the commitment and relationship that you're in. Waiting on both. Stuck. Pisces. Stuck, unknowing whether to change, to walk and leave, move, or wait for change. Okay, it's like being shortchanged, putting in a load of effort and getting fuck all for it. It's like going to a shop and asking for a piece of cake and you give them 10 quid and they give you fuck all back. You say, where's my piece of cake? What do you mean? Well, I just paid you. I just spent all this money, all this time earning this 10 quid to give you some fucking money to get a piece of cake. And what did I get for it? Fuck all. Where is it? I don't know. Right? You spend a lot of time investing into getting something, and then when you invest it into something, you get nothing back. Right? So it's up to you. You're investing and investing and investing and waiting and probably investigating, which is watching tarot to trying to find out if a person changes, realizing that people don't. People don't. Okay. So the question is, am I prepared to leave him and this place and get out of here altogether and find a new King of Cups? Okay. And there you go. Susie Bayern. You're right. Where you been? Hiding. I want cake. I want cake too. I've been watching, it's from Britain. The bearded, what's his name? Is on YouTube. I'll send you guys over there if you want to watch him. Is from Leeds. Beard Meets Food. Beard Meets Food. He's actually about an hour and a half, 2 hours away from where I live. But he does all of these, like he goes around. He's been to America, actually. Where's that in America? You guys might know. He's just been over there, actually, and he's from here. And he went over to America, and there's this restaurant. I think it's in LA, I'm not sure. And they're extremely rude. But they're supposed to be. I think it's called Big Dick's something. And you walk in, and they're like, what the fuck do you want? Sit down. And they're really rude to you, but they do it on purpose. And they're kind of like, right, what have you got? And you're like, well, we've got burgers. What are they like? Well, they're as dry as your elbows. Really? My elbows are not dry. Yes, they are. Now, what do you want? And they're really rude to you. But it's a gimmick that they have in America. And it's a restaurant that they've got there, apparently. But the food is really good, but they are extremely rude, but they're supposed to be. So, yeah, I don't know if you guys have seen that or heard of it anywhere. You're still unpacking, are you? Get move on. Still unpacking. We have it here too. Karen's, I think. Oh, is it called Karen's? This one's called Big Dick's Cabin or something. Something like that. Good morning, Tammy. Cheers, yeah. Diet Coke. I'm actually trying to cut down a little bit on the Monster. One thing I've noticed about my diet as well, right? This is where I go wrong, and it was actually watching this Beard Meets Food. that he said, how does he get away with binging and remaining really fit and muscly? He does go to the gym, but how can he pack on so many calories and still like remain fit? And the one thing that he said out that really does ring a bell when I actually sabotage my diet is you can actually be losing weight and not know it. And that you can get on the scales and the scales say that you've actually put a little bit on or you haven't changed at all, but you actually feel like you have. And that if you have one cheat day and then you weigh yourself, like, say, in 3 days' time, and you haven't lost any weight, but you've only had one piece of food that you may not have had, should have had, you can sabotage that whole thing. But what it is, it's a certain chemical in your body, like water retention. It holds on to water and it holds on to sodium. That's it. And sodium soaks into the muscles to actually make you heavier than what you actually are, because it's like water retention and sodium. And I've fucked up my diet so many times through that. Like, I've done all week. I've gone past 2 weeks and done really well. I've had one cheat day where I've gone to a noodle bar in England that are really nice, like Oodle noodles. And I've had one day and then I've gone to weigh myself and I haven't lost a fucking thing. So I'm like, sod it, and I'm out getting cake and God knows what else and mess up my diet when I actually felt like I had lost weight because my trousers or my jumper is different. And then because what he said, I actually realised and thought, damn, he's right. Like, don't mess up a diet because your scales say the same. It's because of water retention. Yeah, interesting crap facts there, but I keep forgetting it every time I mess up my diet. Don't mess it up. You actually have lost weight. It doesn't matter what the scales say. So I think we're going to call that it then, my little lovelies. I will regress at some point. Energy drink. Monster is really bad for the heart. I have a 30-year cousin drinking once a day. For 8 years, screwed up heart. I've actually cut down a bit. But I didn't actually know if it was actually doing my ADD any good, to be honest with you. Because it is an energy drink and I'm actually I'm not spending any energy apart from stressing over fucking people that just moan all the time, really. But ain't that all women? Diet Coke. Yeah. I can't drink water. Water's about boring to me. I try it for a little while, but it just gets very monotonous. And I think, I'm 47 now. I don't really give a shit, to be honest with you. Thank you, guys. Really appreciate it. So I'm going to call it and then we'll go live again another day. Done an hour and 10 minutes. I was hoping for some more money, to be honest with you. If you guys that want to join, it would be really helpful. But we have Leo and Gemini tonight for the readings. Love moaning.